Park Ji-soo stepped off the transport ship and took her first breath of alien air. It smelled like metal and strange flowers. The Galactic Elite Academy loomed before her, a massive structure of gleaming white towers and curved glass. It looked nothing like the buildings on Earth. "Human, follow," said a tall blue being with 4 arms. It did not look at Ji-soo as it spoke. Ji-soo grabbed her single bag and followed. She walked with her head high, though her heart beat fast in her chest. She was the first human to ever attend the academy, the first human to walk these halls. The weight of her whole species rested on her shoulders. The blue being led her through large doors into a hall filled with students. They all stopped talking when Ji-soo entered. 6 different alien species stared at her. Some looked almost like humans, but with strange colors or extra limbs. Others looked nothing like humans at all. "This is the human student," the blue being announced. "It will join 3rd-year class." It, not she. Ji-soo bit her lip but said nothing. She knew this would not be easy. A group of tall, gray-skinned aliens with ridge-lined faces moved toward her. Their leader, a male with deep red eyes, looked down at Ji-soo. "I am Tak of the Vorin," he said, his voice low and rumbling. "Humans do not belong here. Your kind only discovered faster than light travel 50 years ago. The rest of us have had it for thousands of years." Ji-soo met his gaze. "I passed the same entrance tests as you." Tak laughed, and the other Vorins laughed with him. "A lucky guess or two does not make you our equal, human." The crowd of students moved apart as a tall, thin alien with pale green skin approached. This one wore a formal robe with many badges. "I am Director Yulan," the alien said. "Welcome to the Galactic Elite Academy, Human Park Ji-soo. You are here because your test scores qualified you to be here. Nothing more, nothing less." Director Yulan turned to the other students. "Classes begin tomorrow. Any student who fails to meet our standards will be sent home. Species does not matter. Results matter." The director left, and the students slowly moved away. Ji-soo stood alone, clutching her bag. "Your room is this way," said a quiet voice beside her. Ji-soo turned to see one of the marine students, a species that looked almost human except for their large almond-shaped eyes and 6 fingers on each hand. This one was male, with short black hair and dark blue eyes. "I'm Do-yun," he said. "I'm in 3rd year too." "Thank you," Ji-soo said, relieved to find someone willing to talk to her. "Why are you helping me?" Do-yun shrugged. "The academy is about learning. How can we learn if we only talk to those like ourselves?" He led her through twisting halls to a small room. "This is yours. The bathroom is shared with the room next door. The food hall opens in 1 hour." Ji-soo set her bag down on the narrow bed. The room was plain but clean. A desk, a chair, a small closet, and a window that looked out on the strange purple sky of this alien world. "Will it always be like this?" she asked. "Will they always hate me for being human?" Do-yun was quiet for a moment. "They don't hate you," he finally said. "They fear you." "Fear me? Why? Humans are the weakest species here." "Physically, yes," Do-yun said. "But humans—" He stopped and looked around as if checking for listeners. "Humans adapt. The rest of us evolved in stable environments. Your kind evolved in chaos. It makes you unpredictable." He moved toward the door. "Rest now. Tomorrow will be difficult." After he left, Ji-soo sat on the bed and looked out at the alien sky. She didn't belong here. Everyone knew it, but she would show them all what humans could do. She had no idea that in 3 months, this academy would become a tomb, and she would be the only one left alive. Ji-soo stared at the holographic display, trying to make sense of the quantum equations. 3 weeks had passed since her arrival at the academy, and each day had been harder than the last. "Time is up," announced Professor Malk, a tall Rigelian with 4 eyes. "Submit your work." Ji-soo pressed her finger to the screen. She had only finished half the problems. Again, she would receive a failing grade. As students filed out of the classroom, Tak bumped into her desk, knocking her tablet to the floor. "Oops," he said with a cruel smile. "So clumsy, these humans." Jisoo picked up her tablet and said nothing. Fighting would only make things worse. Later that day, in the engineering lab, Jisoo sat alone at a workbench. Here, at least, she could find some peace. The other students avoided the lab, seeing practical work as beneath them. "Engineering is for service drones," Tak had said once. "Real leaders focus on theory." Jisoo took out a broken scanner and began to fix it. On Earth, she had learned to repair things from a young age. When resources were limited, you fixed what you had. Here, the other species simply replaced broken items. "Interesting approach," said a voice. Jisoo looked up to see Director Yulan watching her work. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "I know this isn't the assigned project, but—" "No need to apologize," Yulan said. "I'm curious about your method. You're using parts from 3 different devices." Jisoo nodded. "The scanner needs a new power coupling, but the Academy doesn't have the exact model, so I'm adapting these other parts to work together." Yulan watched as Jisoo's small hands worked quickly, connecting wires and adjusting tiny components. "Most students would request a new scanner," Yulan said. "That would take weeks to arrive from Earth," Jisoo replied. "I need it now." She finished her work and turned on the scanner. It hummed to life, working perfectly. Yulan's expression was hard to read. "Follow me, Student Park." Jisoo followed the director to a secure area of the academy she had never seen before. They entered a large room filled with broken machinery. "This is the Practical Problem Center," Yulan said. "Few students use it." Jisoo looked around in wonder. The room contained technology from dozens of worlds. Some pieces looked ancient, others cutting edge. "I have a challenge for you," Yulan said, leading her to a complicated device in the center of the room. "This is a Voron atmospheric processor. It has been broken for 50 years. Fix it." Jisoo examined the machine. It was huge and complex, with thousands of parts. "I don't know how it works," she admitted. "Figure it out," Yulan said. "You have 1 week." For the next 7 days, Jisoo spent every free moment in the Practical Problem Center. She skipped meals and slept only a few hours each night. The atmospheric processor was unlike anything she had seen before, but she approached it piece by piece, learning its systems. When other students were practicing telepathic communication, which humans couldn't do, or memorizing the political structures of the Confederation, which kept changing to exclude Earth, Jisoo was taking apart the processor and putting it back together. On the 7th day, Do-Yun found her in the center, covered in grease and smiling. "What are you doing here?" he asked. "Everyone is looking for you. The quantum physics test starts in 10 minutes. "I'm almost done," Jisoo said, connecting one last wire. The processor hummed, then roared to life. Lights flashed across its control panel, and clean air began to flow from its vents. "You fixed it," Do-Yun said, his large eyes wide with surprise. "No one has been able to fix that." Jisoo wiped her hands on her uniform. It just needed someone to look at it differently. From the doorway, Director Yulan watched silently. In his hand was a tablet showing Jisoo's file, and next to it, a project labeled Evolutionary Purge. His 4-fingered hand tightened on the tablet as he made a decision. The engineering lab was silent and dark. It was well past midnight, and Jisoo was the only one still working. After fixing the atmospheric processor, Director Yulan had given her more projects, each harder than the last. Tonight, she was trying to repair a quantum network node. The device was small but complex, with crystal parts that glowed blue when touched. "Just one more wire," Jisoo muttered to herself. She connected 2 tiny filaments, and the device lit up. Suddenly, the holographic display above the device flashed with images. Files opened on their own, faster than Jisoo could read them. She had accidentally accessed the Academy's secure network. Jisoo knew she should turn it off. Accessing secure files without permission was against Academy rules. But then she saw something that made her heart stop. Project Evolutionary Purge. Target Sol 3, Earth. Jisoo's hand shook as she touched the file. More information appeared. Human adaptability presents growing threat to Confederation stability. Recommend immediate action. Earth's resources valuable. Population dispensable. What are you doing? Jisoo jumped. Do-Yun stood in the doorway, his large eyes reflecting the blue light of the display. I found something, Jisoo said, her voice barely above a whisper. Look at this. Do-Yun approached slowly. He looked at the display, then quickly hit a button to shut it down. You shouldn't have seen this, he said. His voice was different now, harder, more afraid. They're planning to attack Earth, Jisoo said. Why? We've done nothing to the Confederation. Do-Yun looked at the door, then back at Jisoo. He seemed to be making a difficult decision. It's not what you've done, he finally said. It's what the Confederation thinks you might do. He sat down beside her. All the species in the Confederation evolved in stable environments. The Voran homeworld has had the same climate for 1,000,000 years. My people, the Marine, have lived on a moon with no seasons and no disasters for our entire history. Jisoo nodded. She had learned this in her xenobiology class. But humans, Do-Yun continued, your planet has ice ages, floods, volcanoes, earthquakes. You evolved in chaos. It made you different. Different how? You adapt. You think in ways we don't. Look at what you did with the atmospheric processor. It was designed by Voran engineers to work in one specific way. When it broke, they couldn't fix it because they couldn't imagine a different approach. But you did. Jisoo tried to understand. So they want to kill all humans because we think differently. The Confederation leaders believe the chaos of Earth made humans dangerous, Do-Yun said. They fear what humans might become in 100 years, or 1,000. Jisoo stood up, anger replacing her fear. I need to warn Earth. All communications are monitored, Do-Yun warned. If you try to send a message, they'll know. Then I need to get off this planet, Jisoo said. I need to steal a ship. Do-Yun's face showed surprise, then a slow smile. That's exactly what I mean. No Confederation species would think that way. It would never occur to us to steal a ship. Will you help me? Jisoo asked. Do-Yun was quiet for a long moment. The Confederation Day celebration is in 3 days. Security will be focused on the main hall. We might be able to reach the shuttle bay. Thank you, Jisoo said. Don't thank me yet, Do-Yun replied. If we're caught, we'll both be executed for treason. That night, Jisoo couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the billions of people on Earth who had no idea they were in danger. Her family, her friends, everyone she had ever known. Outside her window, the 3 moons of the Academy planet shone bright. In 3 days, she would either escape and save her world or die trying. In the darkness of his office, Director Elon watched a recording of Jisoo in the lab. He smiled as she discovered the files. Everything was going according to plan. 3 days passed, and the quarantine continued. Jisoo remained in her room, receiving meals through a small door slot. The Academy sent daily messages to all students. Remain calm. Medical staff are handling the situation. Classes will resume soon. But Jisoo knew something was very wrong. She could hear shouting in the halls at night. Twice, she saw medical teams rushing past her window, carrying students on floating stretchers. On the 4th day, Jisoo's room screen turned on by itself. The face of Director Elon appeared. Student Park, he said. Report to Medical Bay 3 immediately for testing. Jisoo hesitated. This could be a trap, but if she refused, they would come for her anyway. She left her room and walked through empty halls. The academy felt different now, cold and quiet, like a tomb. When she reached Medical Bay 3, she was surprised to see Tak sitting outside. He looked terrible. His gray skin had a sickly green tint, and his red eyes were dull. He was shaking. "What's happening?" Jisoo asked him. Tak looked up, and for once there was no hatred in his eyes, only fear. "People are dying," he said, his voice weak. "It started with headaches. Then you start to see things that aren't there. You get angry for no reason. Then," he pointed to the medical bay door, "then you end up in there." A doctor in a full protective suit opened the door. "Student Park, enter." Jisoo stepped inside. The medical bay was filled with beds, and in each one lay a student or teacher. Some were thrashing against restraints. Others lay still, eyes open but seeing nothing. Director Yulan stood in the center of the room, also wearing a protective suit. "Interesting that you show no symptoms," he said to Jisoo. "What is this disease?" Jisoo asked. "We don't know yet," Yulan replied. "It affects the brain first, causing paranoia and violent behavior. Then the victims fall into a coma. So far, it has infected members of all 7 Confederation species." Jisoo noticed his wording. "All 7, but not humans." "Not you," Yulan said, "which is why you're here. Our doctors need to run tests." For the next 2 hours, the doctors took samples of Jisoo's blood and scanned her brain. They asked her questions about Earth diseases and human immune systems. Jisoo answered truthfully, worried about the sick students around her. When they finished, a doctor led Jisoo to a small room with screens showing the inside of the medical bay. "Wait here," the doctor said, then left. Jisoo watched the screens. The doctors were moving from bed to bed, checking on patients. Then she saw something odd. Director Yulan was at a computer terminal, not helping patients at all. He was entering data and smiling while students were dying. Jisoo found the controls for the screen and zoomed in on Yulan's computer. What she saw made her gasp. The screen showed a molecular structure labeled Project Evolutionary Purge, Phase 1 complete. This wasn't a natural disease, it was a weapon. And somehow, Jisoo was immune. She had to get out of the room and find proof. Using her engineering knowledge, Jisoo quickly disabled the door lock. She slipped out into an empty hall and made her way to the main medical lab. The lab was empty. Jisoo went to the central computer and began searching files. What she found confirmed her fears. The illness was a bioweapon designed by the Academy. It was meant to target all known sentient species, except humans. Jisoo downloaded the files to her tablet. Now she had proof, but she still needed to escape and warn Earth. And maybe, if she was lucky, find a way to help the infected students. As she was about to leave, she heard a weak voice from a storage closet. "Jisoo, is that you?" She opened the door and couldn't believe her eyes. Do-Yun lay on the floor, alive but barely conscious. His large eyes were clouded with pain. "You're alive," Jisoo whispered. "I thought they killed you." "Worse," Do-Yun said. "They used me as the first test subject." Jisoo helped Do-Yun sit up. He was weak, his skin pale and his breathing shallow. "We need to get you out of here," Jisoo whispered. "No time," Do-Yun said. "Listen to me. I found out what they were planning. The bioweapon wasn't supposed to be released here. It was meant for Earth." Jisoo's hands trembled. "What happened?" "I broke into the secure lab to get proof for you," Do-Yun explained. "But I was caught. Director Yulan decided to use me to test the weapon. Something went wrong. The containment system failed, and the weapon spread through the Academy's air system." "So this was an accident?" Jisoo asked. "The release was an accident," Do-Yun said. "But the weapon was very much on purpose. They designed it to kill humans while leaving Earth habitable for colonization. But it's killing everyone except humans," Jisoo said. How is that possible? Do Yun coughed. They made a mistake. The weapon targets specific brain patterns. They thought they had mapped human brains correctly, but they were wrong. Instead of targeting humans, it targets everyone else. Jisoo helped Do Yun to his feet. We need to find an antidote. I've been trying, Do Yun said. Before they locked me in here, I was working on one. But I need more time and better equipment. They left the storage closet and moved carefully through the medical lab. Most of the doctors and staff were gone now, either sick themselves or fled. Jisoo found a secure terminal and used her override device to access it. What are we looking for? My research files, Do Yun said. And we need to understand why you're immune. They worked quickly, Jisoo following Do Yun's instructions to access the right files. On the screen appeared complicated diagrams of brain structures and molecular formulas. There, Do Yun pointed weakly. Your blood tests show something interesting. Human blood has a unique protein that neutralizes the weapon. Jisoo stared at the screen. So the cure is in my blood. Potentially, Do Yun said. But we need to extract the protein and replicate it. That will take time and special equipment. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the academy. A voice came over the speakers. Security breach in Medical Lab 1. All available security personnel respond. They know we're here, Jisoo said. We need to move. She helped Do Yun toward the door, but he was too weak to move quickly. Leave me, he said. Take the research and go. No, Jisoo said firmly. I'm not leaving you behind. She looked around the lab and spotted a small service door. This way. They slipped through the door into a narrow maintenance tunnel. Jisoo could hear the heavy footsteps of security officers entering the lab behind them. Where does this tunnel lead? She asked. Lower levels, Do Yun said, where they keep the backup generators and life support systems. As they moved deeper into the academy, Jisoo realized how quiet it had become. The once busy school now felt empty and cold. How many are left? She asked. Not many, Do Yun replied. When I was in the medical bay yesterday, I heard a doctor say over half the academy is already infected. Many have died. Others have fled. They reached a small room filled with scientific equipment. This is one of the backup research labs, Do Yun explained. We might be able to work here. Jisoo helped him to a chair and looked at the equipment. Tell me what to do. For the next hour, Do Yun guided Jisoo through the process of analyzing her blood and extracting the protective protein. His knowledge and her practical skills worked well together. It's ironic, Do Yun said as they worked. They feared humans because you evolved in chaos. That chaos forced your bodies to develop better defenses. Now those defenses might save us all. Jisoo looked at the small vial of clear liquid they had created. Their first attempt at an antidote. Will it work? She asked. There's only one way to find out, Do Yun said. He held out his arm. Test it on me. Jisoo hesitated. What if it makes you worse? I'm dying anyway, Do Yun said simply. This is our only chance. As Jisoo prepared to inject the antidote, they heard the security alarm again. This time, it was closer. Hurry, Do Yun said. They're coming. Jisoo's hands shook as she prepared the injection. The sound of boots echoed in the distance, growing louder. Ready? She asked. Do Yun nodded. Do it. She pressed the injector against his arm. The clear liquid flowed into his body. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Do Yun gasped and fell forward. Do Yun. Jisoo caught him before he hit the floor. His body shook violently, his eyes rolled back. Then, suddenly, he was still. Too still. No, please, Jisoo whispered. Had she killed him? Had she made the antidote wrong? The security alarm blared again, closer now. Jisoo had to move, but she couldn't leave Do Yun. Then he took a deep breath and opened his eyes. Jisoo, he said, his voice stronger than before. The pain, it's less. Relief washed over her. Can you walk? I think so. He stood slowly. The antidote works, but it's not perfect. We need to make more and improve it. They gathered the equipment they could carry and moved deeper into the academy's lower levels. Jisoo found an old storage room where they could hide and continue their work. How long will it take to make enough antidote for everyone? Jisoo asked as they set up their makeshift lab. Days, maybe weeks, Do-Yun said. And we still need to improve the formula. What I took only reduces the symptoms. It doesn't cure the disease. Jisoo looked at the small amount of equipment they had salvaged. We need more supplies. There's a bigger lab on level 3, Do-Yun said, but it's risky. That area is heavily guarded. Jisoo thought for a moment. I'll go. You stay here and keep working on the formula. Before Do-Yun could argue, she was gone, moving silently through the maintenance tunnels. The academy had changed in just a few days. Many lights were out, and some areas had no power at all. The once clean halls were dirty and empty. When Jisoo reached level 3, she carefully opened the maintenance hatch and looked out. The hall was empty, but she could hear voices in the distance. She moved quickly to the lab door and used her override device to open it. Inside, she found a well-equipped lab with everything they needed. As she gathered supplies, she heard something disturbing from the next room. Director Yulan's voice. The test is a success, Yulan was saying. The weapon works exactly as designed. But sir, another voice replied, it's killing our own people. A small price to pay, Yulan said coldly. Now we know it works. We can make adjustments for the Earth version. Jisoo's blood ran cold. They were still planning to attack Earth, even after what had happened here. She had to get the supplies back to Do-Yun. They needed to perfect the antidote and warn her world. As she turned to leave, Jisoo bumped into a shelf. A glass vial fell and shattered on the floor. What was that? Yulan's voice was sharp. Check the lab. Jisoo grabbed as many supplies as she could carry and ran for the maintenance hatch. She could hear footsteps behind her as she dropped into the tunnel. It's the human. Someone shouted. She's in the tunnels. Jisoo ran as fast as she could, the precious medical supplies clutched to her chest. She took a wrong turn and found herself in a large room she had never seen before. It was the Academy's communication center, now empty and dark. An idea flashed in her mind. If she could send a message to Earth, she could warn them about the weapon. But as she moved toward the communication console, the door burst open. Tak stood there, his face twisted with rage and pain. The disease had taken hold of him, driving him to violence. Found you, he growled, advancing toward her. Jisoo backed away, looking for an escape. There was none. She would have to face Tak to get back to Do-Yun with the supplies. Tak, listen to me, she said calmly. I can help you. We've found a treatment. Lies, he snarled. Humans always lie. He lunged at her, faster than she expected. Tak's hands closed around Jisoo's throat. His strength was shocking, even in his weakened state. Jisoo struggled, dropping the supplies she had gathered. You did this, Tak growled, his red eyes wild with rage and sickness. Humans brought this curse. Jisoo couldn't speak. She couldn't breathe. Dark spots appeared in her vision as she reached into her pocket and found the one dose of antidote she had kept with her. With the last of her strength, she pressed the injector against Tak's arm and pushed the button. Tak roared in pain and released her. He stumbled back, clutching his arm. Jisoo fell to the floor, gasping for air. What did you do to me? Tak demanded, his voice shaking. I'm trying to help you, Jisoo managed to say between breaths. It's an antidote. Tak fell to his knees, his body shuddering as the antidote fought the disease in his system. Jisoo watched, ready to run if the treatment failed. Slowly, Tak's breathing steadied. The wild look in his eyes faded. He looked at Jisoo with confusion. Why? He asked simply. Because letting you die wouldn't prove anything, Jisoo said. You thought humans were dangerous because we're different. I want to show you we can be different and still help each other. Before Tak could respond, they heard voices in the hallway. Director Yulan and his security team were coming. Hide, Tak said suddenly. Now. Jisoo hesitated, but Tak pointed to a small maintenance door. Go. I'll handle this. She gathered the dropped supplies and slipped through the door just as Yulan entered the room. Student Tak, Yulan said. What are you doing here? You should be in medical quarantine. I was hunting the human, Tak replied, his voice steady. She came this way, but continued down to the lower levels. Jisoo held her breath. Would Yulan believe him? You look improved, Yulan said suspiciously. How is that possible? The rage stage of the disease comes and goes, Tak said. As you well know, Director. There was a long pause. Then Yulan spoke. Take him to containment. He's compromised. Jisoo heard the sounds of struggle, then silence. She waited a few minutes before emerging. The room was empty. Tak was gone. He had sacrificed himself to help her. Jisoo hurried back to the storage room where Do-Yun waited. When she arrived, his condition had improved further. He was standing, working on the antidote formula. I got the supplies, Jisoo said, placing them on the table. And I tested the antidote on Tak. It worked, but Yulan took him. Do-Yun nodded grimly. We need to make more, and fast. With these supplies, we can create a more effective version. For the next several hours, they worked without rest. Jisoo's human adaptability, paired with Do-Yun's scientific knowledge, made them a perfect team. Finally, they had enough doses for 20 people. It's not enough for everyone, Jisoo said, looking at the small vials. No, Do-Yun agreed. We have to choose who gets it first. Jisoo thought of Tak, who had helped her despite years of hatred. The security team, she said. If we can cure them, they can help us make more and distribute it. That's risky, Do-Yun warned. They might just arrest us. It's a risk we have to take, Jisoo said. We can't do this alone. They moved through the dark halls of the academy toward the central atrium, where security had set up their base. Jisoo carried the precious antidote in a small case. When they reached the atrium, they found chaos. Security officers lay on makeshift beds, many in the late stages of the disease. Medical staff struggled to help them. In the center stood Director Yulan, still healthy in his protective suit. When he saw Jisoo and Do-Yun, his eyes widened. Seize them, he ordered, but no one moved. The officers were too sick. Jisoo stepped forward, holding up the case of antidote vials. I have the cure, she announced. Let me help you. Impossible, Yulan said. You're lying. Look at me, Do-Yun said, stepping forward. I was the first infected. Now I'm recovering. The medical staff and sick officers looked at them with desperate hope. Jisoo opened the case. Who will be first? 6 months later, Jisoo stood at the window of the newly rebuilt academy. Outside, ships were arriving with the new class of students. Among them were 5 human ships from Earth. So much had changed since that day in the atrium. Jisoo remembered how the 6 security officers had looked at the antidote with hope and fear. The first brave officer to step forward had been Tak, brought back from containment as his condition worsened. I trust her, Tak had said, looking directly at Jisoo. His words shocked everyone, including Yulan. One by one, Jisoo had given the antidote to the 20 sickest patients. As they began to recover, Do-Yun taught them how to make more of the cure. But Director Yulan had not given up easily. While everyone worked to save the sick, he had tried to escape in a small ship with the biowave on plans. Jisoo and Tak had chased him to the shuttle bay. It's over, Director, Jisoo had said. The Confederation will know what you did. Fools, Yulan had shouted. Humans will destroy everything we built. Their chaos will spread. In the struggle that followed, Yulan's protective suit had torn. Within hours, he too fell victim to his own weapon. Unlike the others, he refused the antidote, choosing death over accepting help from a human. The door to Jisu's office opened, interrupting her memories. Do-Yun entered, now fully recovered and wearing the badge of the Academy Science Director. "The council is ready," he said. Jisu nodded and followed him to the Great Hall. There, representatives from all Confederation species waited, including a delegation from Earth. Jisu's parents sat among them, pride shining in their eyes. At the center of the hall stood Tak, now the head of Academy Security. Beside him was a stone monument with the names of those who had died in what people now called the Academy Incident. "We gather today to begin a new chapter," Tak announced. "The Galactic Confederation welcomes Earth as its 8th full member." Applause filled the hall. Jisu stepped forward to accept Earth's membership token, a crystal sphere containing the star maps of all Confederation worlds. "6 months ago, I didn't belong here," Jisu said, her voice clear and strong. "I was the outsider, the primitive human who didn't deserve a place among the stars." She looked around the hall, meeting the eyes of aliens who were now friends and colleagues. But when disaster struck, it wasn't our differences that mattered. It was our willingness to work together, to see past fear and find solutions. Jisu held up the sphere. "Earth brings something new to the Confederation. Humans evolved in chaos, yes, but that chaos taught us to adapt, to think differently, to find new paths when old ones fail." Do-Yun stepped forward. "Thanks to Jisu, we've created a new research program combining the strengths of all our species. Already, we've made breakthroughs in medicine and technology that would have been impossible before." Tak nodded. "And our security forces now train using human adaptive techniques. What we once feared, we now embrace." After the ceremony, Jisu walked through the academy halls with her parents. Students of all species moved around them, talking and laughing together. "It's hard to believe this place was once a mausoleum," Jisu said quietly. Her father squeezed her shoulder. "You turned death into life, hatred into understanding." As they reached the main entrance, the new students were arriving. Jisu watched as 5 humans, wide-eyed and nervous, entered the academy for the first time. One young woman looked particularly overwhelmed. Jisu approached her with a smile. "Welcome to the academy," she said. "I'm Jisu." The girl's eyes widened in recognition. "You're the one who saved everyone. I read all about you. I'm not sure I belong in a place like this." Jisu smiled, remembering her own first day. "Don't worry," she said. "None of us belonged here at first. That's what makes it work." Above them, the 3 moons of the Academy planet began to rise, shining down on a new future where differences were not feared, but celebrated, where a human who once didn't belong had found her place among the stars, and where an academy that had almost become a tomb now buzzed with the energy of new beginnings.